In this video, we're going to be talking about Amazon FBA, what it actually is, and how some beginners are going from making £100 to £450 plus per day in passive income. So I started selling on Amazon back in 2017, 2018. The reason for this was to build up an additional income stream which I could basically scale and grow, and it didn't directly relate to me physically putting in hours myself working on it, exchanging my time for money. More money, less time, scalable business, providing the potential for the whole freedom, live on the beach and receive passive income every day lifestyle. So if you've been subscribed to the channel for a while, you know I've done a number of videos talking about Amazon FBA, how to send products to Amazon, how to advertise products on Amazon, product optimization, branding, all that sort of stuff. And I've even documented an entire process of relaunching my first ever Amazon FBA product, talking about profits, losses, basically revealed the whole thing. So I'll leave a link to that video playlist in the description below if you want to check that out. So there are a lot of people looking for how to make money with Amazon, but it sort of strikes me that not many people know what Amazon FBA actually is. So in this video, we're going to be looking at the opportunity for making money with Amazon FBA, whether it's a good opportunity, whether it's a bad opportunity, and basically revealing how you could get started. Quick disclaimer, I'm not even trying to sell you a course. So essentially what Amazon FBA actually stands for is Fulfillment by Amazon. You send your products to Amazon and they pretty much handle everything else. They send the products directly to the customers, they deal with returns, shipping, logistics, customer service, and they even provide some level of support with marketing. This is why it's a very appealing opportunity for anyone looking to start selling products and making money online, as Amazon seems to do all the hard work for you, and it provides you with the potential for the passive freedom, live on the beach and chill and Amazon's going to make all the money for me type scenario. That's certainly what all the gurus and people probably running ads on this video are trying to sell you the dream of. But is that actually the truth for the beginner who's just looking to get started? So first of all, let's look at how you can actually get started. So the way that me and my business partner got started is we used some product research software which helped us find products that were making between £5,000 and £12,000 per month in sales. They didn't have a huge amount of competition, and where we could purchase that product from a supplier in China and make a 40 to 50% plus profit margin on every single sale. I'll leave a link in the description below to the product research software that we used back then and the research software that we're using now. Both of these are really good for finding out how much each product is making in sales each month or each day on Amazon. And I'll do some more videos talking about these in the future. So make sure to hit the like and subscribe if you want to find out when these come out. Once we'd found a product that we liked, we headed over to Alibaba, which is essentially a huge marketplace website which puts you directly in touch with suppliers and manufacturers in China and Pakistan and places like that. The reason a lot of people go down this route is essentially because a lot of stuff is made in China and you can get really good high quality products for a really reasonable price and make a higher profit margin on every sale. Once on Alibaba, we would look through and find around 5 to 10 different suppliers that had trade assurance, were verified and had decent number of reviews. We would then message each of these different suppliers, ask for some quotes, ask questions such as minimum order quantities, specifications on the product, what's their lead time, can we put our logo, our branding on the product, all those sorts of things. We'd then get some samples sent over, and once we were happy with the product, we'd get 3 quotes from the supplier and we would place an order with the supplier we had the most confidence in. Just remember, the cheapest isn't always the best, and just take a good look at your samples to make sure they are of top quality. Once all the products have been manufactured, we would organise them to be sent to Amazon, and that is where it all begins. Amazon pays out every 2 weeks, so from this point onwards, if your product's making sales and you're making a decent profit, you can essentially scale up by ordering larger volumes of product with your supplier, bringing out new products, sending all these products to Amazon, and basically just scaling, rinsing and repeating. And that's where you can turn your initial investment of £1,000 to £2,000 to £5,000 to £10,000, 100 million, and so forth. as you scale up your business. But let's break down what you actually need to do and how you might even be able to achieve this, because to be fair, that's the thing that we all want to know really, isn't it? So yes, it all sounds absolutely fantastic. You bring out a product, you scale it, and in 6 months' time you're doing £1 million a year. Let's be honest, Amazon will do a lot of the hard work for you, but you can't just expect to churn out any old products and expect to be laughing your way to the bank or you relax on the beach in the Maldives. You need to have a good product and you need to be able to market it effectively. If you end up losing all of the £1,000 or £2,000 or however much you've invested into your first stock of products, that's not Amazon's fault, that's your fault. Doing your product research and having a high quality product and product listing is by far the most important thing when it comes to being successful on Amazon. You've got to remember, Amazon is basically the search engine for shopping. So if your product isn't showing up on the first page when a customer types in cutthroat razor or washing basket, and you're actually ending up on page 18, then you're really going to struggle to make any sort of sales at all. I mean, there's loads of different tactics and methods that we can use to get our product ranked on page 1 organically, or just advertise it profitably. I've spoken and done a few different videos talking about all of this in the past, so please feel free to check them out on the channel. I'm also working on some tools specifically for optimizing your Amazon product listings, getting more reviews, advertising and ranking your product on page 1. The link to these tools is going to be in the video description, so depending on when you're actually watching this video is going to depend whether it's out, but as soon as it's available I will leave a link in the video below, so please feel free to check that out. In the meantime, if you need any more help, please drop me a comment below or drop me a message on Instagram and we can book in for a Zoom call where I can look at your product listing or just basically provide you some advice. So please feel free to do that if you want some more assistance. So your other huge responsibility with selling on Amazon is keeping your products in stock. Let's say you bring out an absolute scorcher of a product and you're making loads of sales and you're ranked organically on page 1 right at the top. You're absolutely donning it. But you run out of stock and you've got to wait 30 days from your supplier to manufacture more units to send them into Amazon. If this unfortunately happens, Amazon's going to list your product as currently unavailable and you are going to be dropping down the organic rankings like a penny down a well. And it is a lot harder than you might think to get yourself back ranked up, even though some people say that it's very easy and doesn't really affect results. In my experience, I will tell you that it does. So you need to be aware of your suppliers' lead times and make sure that you always have products in stock at Amazon. So just to recap then on your 3 main responsibilities when it comes to selling on Amazon. Number 1, selecting a good product. Number 2, marketing that product well. And number 3, keeping that product in stock and available for customers to buy. So with all those responsibilities out the way, let's talk about the benefits the Amazon FBA opportunity provides if you manage to nail down all of those 3 main responsibilities. Number 1, Amazon is probably the most trusted online marketplace in the world. So trying to build trust on your own website and convince customers to try and purchase from your brand, which they've probably never heard of, is not going to be the same level of barrier that it is going to be if you're selling on Amazon, which is a worldwide multi-billion-dollar corporation which everyone's heard of and everyone's addicted to. Number 2, it's basically a turnkey, hands-off logistical outsourcing dream. You can basically use and leverage Amazon's wide logistical services to scale and fulfill all of your products' prime next day delivery to customers without you lifting a finger. Whether you're selling your products in the middle of the day or the middle of the night, you're not going to have to do anything to fulfill that order. There's going to be no picking and packing, printing off customer labels, taking it to the post office, shipping out the products individually. It does provide you with that tool that is going to allow you to work from anywhere in the world and make sales and fulfill orders while you're asleep. This moves on to number 3, which is customer service, refunds and returns. Amazon are going to sort all of this out for you. It's only on the rare occasion that a customer might have a specific question about the product that you are going to have some input and deal with that customer. Most of the time, all of this customer service stuff is sort of organized by Amazon, and it's going to mean that you're not going to have to hire out a team of freelancers or virtual assistants to provide all of this customer service and support for you, which is going to enable you to scale your business a lot quicker without as many headaches. Number 4, you can basically make sales, profit and money from wherever you are in the world at whatever time of day. There is certainly a potential to work a few hours a week on this sort of side business and scale it up to as large or a bigger sort of company and brand as you want it to be. It's all within the realms of the possible. With that out of the way, let's talk about some of the disadvantages to starting an Amazon FBA business. The first one being the initial startup cost. So I think we spent around £1,200 from memory to purchase our first initial batch of products. And as with any business, you really don't know how it's going to sell until you start selling. And if you want to check out how much profit that actually made, I'll leave a link to the video up there, which will reveal how much we made from about £6,500 worth of sales. Number 2 is Amazon will always side with the customer, whether there's a fault with the product, whether it's not arrived, whether it's not as explained on the product listing. Amazon is always going to take the side of the customer, so you may potentially expect a slightly higher return or refund rate than you would with any other sort of business, just because of how easy it is to return that product. Let's be honest, it's not going to be crazy, and if you've got a decent product which is providing good value and it's reliable, then you're not going to have to worry about this sort of thing at all. It's just something to bear in mind. Number 3, you will have to pay a fee every single time that a customer purchases your product on Amazon. Although in my opinion these fees are very reasonable, Amazon does have obviously the discrepancy to increase these fees over time if they see fit to, and also you just need to be aware of them because they will slightly eat into your profit margin, so make sure you're completely aware of these fees before you start releasing any of your products. And I'll leave a link to an FBA calculator fee in the video description if you want to check how much these fees might be. Number 4, if you're using a supplier in China, like I talked about in this scenario, you're obviously going to have the time differences and geographical distances to cover in terms of shipping products to you quickly and communications and that sort of thing. All just something to bear in mind. So is it even worth it? Well, first of all, it's definitely not a get-rich-quick scheme. And unless you've got the mindset of building a long-term brand and business, and you've got a couple of £1,000 put aside which you're going to be prepared to invest, then I'd probably say that Amazon FBA isn't going to be for you. However, if you do tick those boxes and you've got a strong will and vision, and you're prepared to build a brand as an additional source of income, or even scale it to a 6 to 7 figure business which you could then sell for a huge profit and payout, then building a brand and selling products on Amazon is definitely a business model that you probably should consider. Let's be honest, Amazon isn't going anywhere, and if you've not sold anything online before, then selling stuff on Amazon is probably going to be one of the easiest and safest ways to get started. As I said previously in the video, if you're interested in learning more about Amazon FBA, you want any more assistance, please check out the link in the video description, which will be to my website, which should hopefully be available by the time you're watching this video. There you can book a Zoom call with me if you need any more help, and there's also going to be loads of different tools on there, from getting product reviews, ranking your product on page 1, search engine optimization, advertising tools, all sorts of stuff. So please feel free to check it out. If you've got any questions in the meantime, drop me a comment below or on Instagram. I'll leave a link to all that in the video description. I hope this video has been useful and helpful. Please like and subscribe if you thought it was, and I'll catch you all again next time.